guys, Natasha Tessier. Welcome to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk about a market update and a property tax update in the state of Texas. I think everybody's wondering what's going on with the market and the changes that they're making in the state legislation for property taxes. So listen up if you want to hear all about that. Hey guys, I'm Natasha Tessier. I am the owner of Dwell Realty and Design. I am a top producer here in the city of Houston. I do want you guys to know there are other YouTubers that are moving in. One of them doesn't even have their license here. They are literally just going from city to city, creating leads and then giving them to agents and taking 50% of each deal. So there's several big YouTubers that have moved in, and the reason their channels are getting so big is because they're feeding off all their other 20 channels across the nation. But beware, you will not talk to that person when you call. They put it in a round robin system, and the phone just kind of like Zillow picks up whoever picks up the next lead goes. So what I can give to you is that if you call the number below, that's my cell phone. You're going to talk to me. You're going to talk to my team. I don't even have a team of agents. It's just me as the only agent. But I do have an assistant and a buyer showing assistant to help me get everybody where they need to go. But I'm the one that negotiates the house and buys the house with you and takes you through inspections and goes to the closing and all that stuff. So anyway, enough of that. I wanted to talk to you today about property taxes. So, we don't have a state income tax. I've talked about this before. I'm getting my coffee. It's early on a Sunday morning before church. We don't have state income taxes. That's the awesome part about Texas, but we do have property taxes, and you can work with them. You can be in neighborhoods that are 1.7, mine is 1.7, all the way up to 3.7 for a brand new community, and they will go down over time. I explain this a lot. So it's a municipal utility district, and basically the developer comes in, pays for the infrastructure, and then the homeowners pay off that infrastructure over time. And so like one of the neighborhoods I used to live in was 3.5, it's down to 3.2 in 5 years. So it goes down slowly, which is why a lot of your older neighborhoods, have the lower tax rate. And then eventually the mud gets paid off and you don't even have the mud. So that's one thing to think about. And then you have your homestead exemption, which is the biggest change that they're trying to make in the legislation, and I will go over that. And then we have, veteran exemption, which are really great. Depending on veteran disability exemptions, you obviously have over 65 exemptions. And then you have an ag exemption. So if you live on land and in the past 5 years, that land has been proven to be for agricultural use, then you get a huge discount on your taxes. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and the House have kind of gone through, they've been going back and forth. They had a proposal to do, so right now, every year they can raise your property value 10%. The proposal was to try to lower that to 3.5%. That has not gone through. However, what has gone through both, and I think what I'm pretty sure it's in Abbott's hands to sign off on, and that there will be some amendments made and they will need voters to vote on it in November. So if you're a resident in Texas, look for that. Obviously, we all want as many exemptions and savings as we can get. But the biggest thing that they are doing is the bill will include $100,000 in homestead exemptions. So right now it's in where I live, it's at $40,000. What that means is if you have a $500,000 house right now and you're homesteaded, meaning that's your number one primary residence, you're only going to pay tax on $460 because that's $40,000 off of $500. If this goes through, you'll only pay tax on $400,000. So that's a pretty huge savings right there. And they're also working on, non-homestead, things to help people who own rentals, investors. They're also working on capping that rate that each year that it, can rise. Hopefully they'll get that down so that your rate can only go up by 3 or 4% instead of 10%. But right now, this is going to help 5.7 million Texas homeowners by increasing that homestead exemption to $100,000. And I think Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's $110,000 for over 65. So they get an extra 10 grand off. So that is huge. And I'm pretty sure it's through the House, Senate. They're waiting on the governor to sign off on it. And then it's going to be going to a vote in November. So again, if you live in Texas, look at your November ballot. You know, I suspect that there will be a property tax portion of the ballot to help all of us on savings on our property taxes. So that's pretty awesome in that regard. And I know they're working really hard for Texans to try to help them combat the rising prices. So, you know, because people want to be able to stay in their homes, obviously, with our economy and the inflation and the rise of values. Okay. So that's property taxes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can tell you on that. If you're looking and you're like, hey, Natasha, I only want to have a house under 2% property tax. I don't want to pay more in taxes. We can run on our end a search that just sends you houses with a certain rate or 2.5 or whatever. Some people think it's worth it to live in the master plan communities and do all that. I've mentioned this before. Wood Forest is one of the best master plan communities in regards to tax rate. I think it's now down to 2.69, which for a newer community and with all the growth, and we're going to do a video on Wood Forest again because there's so much going into all the amenities and the restaurants. It's really, really cool out there. So some people think that's worth it and some don't. And then also, let me go back to the ag exemption. The way that works is your house and your acre are still not part of the ag exemption. It's the regular. But if you have 50 acres, then, and like my sister sells hay on her 50 acres, then that is totally exempt from that. So it can be really beneficial to have ag exemption if you're into that. You can do bees, cows, hay, all that kind of stuff. So that's property taxes. So the second half of my video, I wanted to give you a market update. Let me find my notes. So I wanted to give you a market update. I'm going to kind of update you what happened in June. Right now, it's still showing a seller's market. There's like a little dial and like right up is neutral, you know, buyers, sellers. So we're still in a seller's market. I think a lot of it has to do with the time of year. I don't think that that's going to hold on forever. I think we're moving towards a very neutral market and potentially a buyer's market in the fall. If you are kind of one of those that's been waiting, you may want to wait till the fall. It's going to depend on what happens with the rates. Right now, they're pretty high. I think they're in the 7s. If they drop down to, 5.5 or something, then the buyers are going to come back out and you're going to have more competition. So nobody has a crystal ball. A lot of people are getting really, really good deals on houses right now. And so if you can buy the good deal, pay the higher interest rate for, a year and then refinance when it goes down by 2 points or more. So the median price is at $345,000, which is down 2.5% compared to last year. But pre-pandemic, we're still up 4%. So, we had this pandemic and everybody had this crazy rise in prices. And now we're kind of like leveling back off and we're still up from where we were, prior to the pandemic. Last June, our average price was $354,000. Right now, our average price is $345,000. So not a huge drop in prices, but the prices are down from where it was inflated last year, but it's a slight decrease. So, but here's some important numbers. Our total sales from last June compared to this June are down 13.7, almost 14%. So not as many people buying. A lot of that's interest rates, inflation. People, if you're in a 2% rate and you don't have to move, they're not going to jump to a 7% rate. So, a lot of people aren't as motivated to move. The total dollar value from last June to this June is also down 13.4%. And the total active listings is up 28%. So, we have more listings, but less buyers, which is why I think we're going to kind of shift into a buyer's market, especially in the fall. And then single family home sales are down 12% overall. So they categorize it, townhouse, single family, all that stuff. I didn't go into all those. Right now, last year we had, I think it was about a 1 month supply at this time, which is a very low supply, which makes it a big seller's market. Right now we're at 3.1 months supply. So we're getting more to that kind of healthy. I think 3.5 is kind of the healthy neutral zone. So we're not really in this shortage of homes right now. And then, it's it says the supply is up 1.9 from last year. So there's a lot more homes on the market. The days on market rose from 28 days to 45 days again last June to this June. However, our luxury market, which is over 1 million, saw, its first gain in months, climbing almost 6% from last June. So that's kind of interesting that the luxury market is up. So, and I have a luxury listing I listed yesterday, and we already have 2 offers. So it's a really weird market. I have 4 active listings that went this weekend. 1 is the luxury, and then 2 are under 400, and both of those already have offers. So I wouldn't say that our market is struggling by any stretch. If you list it well, it's in a good area, you have a pool, it's gonna go right now. However, if you're buying from out of state, maybe you're an investor. I do a lot of investing myself. I have rental homes. I'm happy to help you with, running numbers and figuring out what makes sense. I buy those a lot in the fall because yes, there's less inventory, but people are more desperate to get rid of it. So last fall we were really, really down and people were getting even better deals. Now, again, if our interest rates go down, we're going to have more competition and buyers. So I hope that this helped. I would love to know who you are, where you're from. Did this video help? What else would you like to hear? I have a brand new video girl hired, and we are going to get out. And now that I'm back in town, I took a little break, went to the mountains. It's very hot here, so I had to get away. Although this morning it was cool. I went on a walk. But I have a brand new video girl. We're going to go and do a neighborhood a week and a video tour of a home a week. It's going to be awesome. So hit the subscribe button. Reach out anytime. Again, you're going to get me and only me, and I would love to meet you and work with you. And I hope you have a blessed day.